Pounded granola. Feels good. Yum yum. Sound check. Pounded granola. Yay! Feels good. You can hear me in my full mouth glory. 1 second. Pick 2, band 0. Okay. Maybe a blocker. Why does everybody hate my image? What's wrong with it? It's great. Muckluck, you don't know Hannodins, let's go smalls. Fair. Ice Power's here? What up, dude? What up? Sorry, just trying to catch up on a million things. I love how you Photoshop the profile pics. Thanks. Can't tell if it's sarcasm or not. Okay. We're good. We're great. I'll explain what the hell's going on in a second. Killing Smalls has started. He picked High Elves, Empire. Hannodins is thinking about what to do. The map is set on Prague. We're doing a best of 7. Let's go. BRB. All right. We have water. We have eaten our tiny-ass lunch that'll get us through the stream. What's going on, everybody? Bob Man's here. Sharks is here. Matthew Coffin's here. Kali Char's here. Everybody's here. The whole gang's here. So, why are we doing this? What's going on? Who are you? Who am I? That's a lot of questions. Why do you ask so many questions? What we have here is a best of 7. If you remember, I had several streams where I was grinding Ent Ladder for a clan war event, and it was titled something something, I'll beat an entire clan. Remember that? Well, this is the result of that. These two, from different clans, obviously, had the most, they both had the most wins. So now, they both had 41, I believe, best of 3 wins over the course of the week. And they talked about it, and they both stopped at the same time and decided to just leave it as a tie. And now we have to decide who's going to win that tie. So they agreed to a best of 7. We're going to fucking do it. It's great. I believe RTK and ODM in general also tied. And that's why Bob Man and Zyphos will be fighting after this on Valkanos' stream. So we got a big day. Got a big day with great players. It's going to be some good shit. It's going to be. So that's the entire explanation. But it's just straight up best of 7. No gimmick. No silly nonsense. Off mic camera noises. Fair. 41 wins. Yes, Bob Man. Yes. As for the picture that everybody hates so much, I don't know, dude. I've done this before with my best of stuff. It's like, if they're a nondescript main, what the hell am I supposed to put for their thing? Like, I guess Smalls main's Empire, but he also plays a lot of Bretonnia. So I don't really know what to do with that. And I can't steal stuff from, like, DeviantArt or Reddit or anything, because that could get copyright claimed, and I don't feel like stealing other people's art. So I take art from my board games and put their profile picture on it. It's the best we can do. Get the point across. Hannodins plays Chaos, I know that. So I gave him something that looked kind of chaosy from my collection. I don't know. We here in the Filthy Rat Den do not steal from artists, all right? We do not steal from artists. And if you don't like the picture, that's because you're a thief. You're a thief and a charlatan, and we here respect our creative brothers in arms. Yes, RTK and ODM tied. They tied 101 to 101. Got him. Got him. So we're starting off with best 7. I am supposedly just a caster. Supposedly, if there are rule break issues, other people will handle it, is what I was told. Yeah. We have a blocker up. Maps were generated randomly by Bowmore with the Ent bot. We have Prague, Carrick Drawn, Tower of Hoeth, Valley of Thieves, Galbaraz, Central Chaos Waste, and Oakenhammer are the maps. I will also be keeping track of who plays what. And I can see both players right now in voice chats. They were instructed to deafen during the game. Otherwise, they can do whatever they want. So, yeah. I can see both players. There is no silliness afoot. We are a lockdown, drag-out, professional operation here. Just asked them for a nice profile picture. I asked. Smalls didn't have his, and Hannodins didn't respond. So, I cropped their Discord pictures. I got it as big as I could on my screen, so we got the best resolution possible. Then I cropped them and threw them onto the face plates of the art. I love being me. It's great. Especially because you all hate when I'm me. That's even better. It's icing on the cake. Hannodins has gone Skaven, and Smalls is going Empire. I love this matchup. It's super good for both sides. Like, it's just dynamic. Recently... Yeah, what's up? Sorry. Uh-oh. What did I do? I'm wondering what he wants. Anyway, while I wait for him to type out this thing, can we turn off spectators just in case of lag issues? Oh. Sure. I turned it to 1, which I supposedly occupy. Can't go lower. Box versus Spock was one with box better. Anyway, yeah. So as I was saying, recently with Skaven, I've really liked Deathmaster Snitch, a Hell Pit, Plague Claw Catapult to dual Empire Artillery, then a Warp Lightning Cannon to shoot at their caster. And then a bunch of Clan Rats, a couple Poison Wing Globes, and a bunch of Rat Ogres. It's pretty good, but I played something similar to that versus Houseplant on the last time I was in the Faction War, and he showed me how crazy good Outriders are at killing Poison Wing Globes. So he likes to do like Marcus Wolfheart, couple cannons, and a bunch of Outriders, and he just like kites you as Empire, and that's pretty frustrating to deal with. And Smalls and Houseplant are good friends, so I wouldn't be shocked if that was the style they came in with, in which case I would be curious what Hannodins is going to do. And why this matchup is so cool is because, like, if you know Kite's coming, you can dominate it 100%. Just like take a bunch of Giselles, take some Wolf Rats, you'll be totally fine. But if you take that build and the Empire's like rushing you with Huntsman or rushing you with Cav, you're going to get shit on. So it's like, it's a cool matchup where both sides have a lot of things they can do, and I really enjoy it. A couple Vanguarded Death Runners can also be pretty good to, like, they insta-kill cannon crews. It's really good. And they have Armor Sundering. They don't have Anti-Large, but they have Armor Sundering, so if Empire Knights come back for them, the Empire Knights will kill your Death Runners, but Death Runners trade okay. When will RTK and ODM play their decision matches? This is, yes, part 1 of 2. Valkanos... Hey, Valkanos is in the chat explaining it, but yeah. So this is the individual prize between RTK's killing Smalls and ODM's Hannodins, because they both got 41 individual wins. And then right after this on Valkanos' stream, it's going to be RTK versus ODM with Zyphos and Bobman to decide which clan got the most wins overall. It's going to be hype. I forget exactly how much money's on the line, but it's not a trivial amount. It's pretty good. Pretty good amount of money for the event. All right, blockers coming down. Yeah, blockers coming down. Muckpluck, you'd rather be Skaven in this matchup, although Empire is probably Small's best. Yeah, I mean, Skaven have a decent time here. They do fine. It's funny because here in Ostbox is a colloquialism for genitals. It's true. It is here too, a little bit. So we have AC Maiden, Adelmo's here. Bobman is dabbing on people with his RTK bias. He is the RTK champion in the next game, so yeah. Alrighty, looking at builds real quick. Alright. Cool. So we have Empire Knights, Empire Knights, Empire Knights, Empire Knights. So 4 Empire Knights for killing smalls, 2 Great Cannons. Already a big deviation from what I thought he was going to bring with Volkmar the Grim. Volkmar is quite good. It's just Houseplant. Loves Marcus Wolfheart. And I also see smalls take it a lot, so I would have assumed we got Wolfheart here. We have an Amethyst Wizard with just Spirit Leech. Very, very good at taking out Skaven weapons teams. It's just generally a good spell. We have some Flagellants and Spearmen and Swordsman frontline. It's good. For Hannodins, we have the Plague Claw Catapults and 2 and 2. 2 and 2 if the Plague Claw Catapults focus the cannons and the cannons focus the Plague Claws. The Skaven are going to win the artillery duel, hands down. 2 Plague Claws can outduel about 3 cannons. They can only lose to 4 or 5. So this is a good start for Hannodins, honestly. Clan Rat Spears mixed in. Skaven Slaves in the front line. We do have Natty Boobo Sharpshooters. We have a Gracier of Plague, Fine Lore Choice, Dreaded 13th, and Vermintide. We have 4 Rat Ogres. Pretty good against the Empire. More Spears, Ixchus Triads, and a double Assassin. My immediate thought is Volkmar is going to be extremely hard to take down. He is easy to... Okay. He's very easy to slip away from Rat Ogres. They're surprisingly hard to surround him with, and even when you do, they don't land that many hits. It feels. So, I still think the Skaven build is favored in this current setup, but I am worried Volkmar might solo carry. Doomsage, I also find it amusing. This is a family stream. I'm trying to keep it above the belt. Killing Smalls has advantage to the name being OP. His name is OP. Savage Kiara's here. Welcome. $35 for the individual, $60 for the team. Thank you, Bob Man, for the hot facts. Hot, steaming fresh off the oven facts. Cannons have a very slight range advantage over Plague Claws. I think it's 400 to 440. 400 to 450. Ooh. And Plague Claws are not going to be able to hit that Amethyst Wizard. That would be kind of nuts. That would be very silly. It looks like Smalls is going to take some free shots onto Skaven Slaves who are facing sideways right now, meaning Cannonball's going to go right down the whole line and do more damage than it normally would. But they're just Skaven Slaves, doesn't look like Hannodins cares. I kind of wonder what the Skaven are planning to do right now. Why they were repositioning so heavily. I'm guessing he wanted to move up, but didn't want to get so close to the trees. Whereas Plague Claws might actually start hitting them. Natty Boobos are shooting at the Amethyst Wizards now very close. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Spirit Leech onto them, and there it is. It does do a lot of damage, and good micro from Smalls, dodging a lot of those shots. Usually, that's why it is nice to have either the Howling Warp Gale or he does not have the item. The item the Graciers can take, the Warpstone Scroll, that reduces your speed by 45%. That way, look at how much damage he's taking now that a couple shots hit. If he was slowed, a lot more of those would be hitting. I do like the Warpstone Scroll, just in case. Or the Gracier of Ruin, though it looks like Hannodins did want the Clan Rat summons for the Vermintide from the Plague Caster. Warpgale's just so good. Like, if they take Boris or Franz or a caster in the sky like this, just the threat of a net keeps Smalls from doing exactly what he's doing right now and really abusing the Skaven. Now, there is advancing. You know, he's not just Spirit Leech kiting. Frontline's moving up, these Pistoliers have been moving up, and cannons have been firing the whole time. Natty Boobo's getting a second Spirit Leech onto them, and you can see just how much damage that is doing. It's brutal stuff. Now, they are the ROR, they have better leadership than normal, so it'll be hard for them to break, but they are getting down to the 0 range. Hannodins might want to maybe cast the Bell, the Unholy Clamor, if they were about to break, but it looks like they're going to rally and be just fine. Plague Claws are going to do some damage to the Pistoliers. That's not the target they want. They need to shut down those cannons, otherwise the cannons are going to rain unholy fire upon them. You can't win the artillery duel if you're aiming at the other the other stuff. Does a nice little bit of poke to the Pistoliers. You can start becoming logic and saying in the pocket. Oh, I see. Third Spirit Leech is probably going to finish off the Natty Boobo Sharpshooters, and if it doesn't kill them outright, it is definitely going to rout them. And that is a sad 1,200 gold lost for the Skaven and this wizard. Rolling dirty. Cannons are untouched so far. Plague Claws are still firing at random things. They need to focus up. They need to realize that there's an artillery duel going on that they're not participating in. No Warp Gale, no Warp Gale. He has the Plague caster, not the Ruins caster. Now he is going to cheat in the artillery duel. He's going to throw a Dreaded 13th down on top of one of the cannons, just instantly deleting it. That is a good usage of the spell. Though I think, again, with the double Plague Claw Catapult, you can just win the artillery fight, so I don't think using 20 Winds of Magic is worth it in that sense, but that might just be me. Looks like he is getting pushed back a little bit. Dreaded 13th has a long range, but it's not infinite, and now he's getting mucked down in spears a little bit, taking decent damage, and I wouldn't hate for the cannons to start aiming at him. Cannons can do a lot of damage to Grey Seers on Bells. Sigmar's front line has arrived, and they're going to win the front line fight quite handedly. What was that? Volkmar's throwing a banishment onto the Plague Claw Catapult. Interesting pick. I guess he's looking around and doesn't see anything else he wants to banish because he can't see Ixtras Triads wherever they are. Yeah, he can't see them. So he doesn't think that banishment will do much to Rat Ogres. Sigmar's Sons have already crushed through the first front line. I think the Skaven are in trouble. Cannons are wreaking a terrible toll on this Plague Claw Catapult, and still they are not opting into the fight. They are instead shooting at some Empire Knights, which is fine. They're doing decent damage there. Ixtras Triads throw out a clone to just keep the Empire Knights in place for a little bit. The clone doesn't deal any damage. It's much like a Lethanars. Double Assassin running after Volkmar, but he's just going to walk away, and these Rat Ogres are trying to block him in. Unholy Claymore keeps them in the fight momentarily, but if he throws a Soulfire Bombardment down and does a lot of damage to Rat Ogres, he will definitely rout them off, and they are actually going to tear a rout. Things are going very poorly for the Skaven. I am extremely worried about them at this point. Catapults are firing over here, but there's nothing in this back line to defend the Plague Claws at all, so these Empire Knights are just going to stream in and take them out. Cannons have already shut down one of the Plague Claws, and Volkmar is still quite healthy and rolling dirty. The Assassins quite can't get to him through all the chaff. Pistoliers are here firing on Rat Ogres. More Rat Ogres are breaking, and Stormburn with Halberds. It looks like that was a Dreaded 13th summon. Takes out 2 infantry units, but they will eventually fade. Empire's pulling slightly ahead on the balance of power. Natty Boobos are going to get shut down yet again by Empire Knights, taking out a lot of that ammunition. And maybe those Empire Knights can even swing right over here. Yep, they shattered. They have to swing over here right now. Keep these Rat Ogres and Plague Claws routing. Other Empire Knights taking out these catapults. Skaven Slave Slayers coming to try and push them off. And it looks like Smalls will be safe and just walk away. But he doesn't really have to care about the spears too much. But now he's just cleaning up anything that's running away, taking them all out. These Empire Knights got a little distracted, so it looks like those Rat Ogres were able to rally. But they're so low on health, they're going to take a nasty charge here, and then probably break again in a moment. So Ixtras Triads, are these the real ones? Looks like the real Ixtras Triads did run up, and they're now trying to take out the Great Cannons. They're getting charged in the rear by Pistoliers, and they'll do okay here. They're going to clean up a lot of this stuff. So that's a nice little play from the Skaven player, realizing that things are kind of going to shit in the ranged fight, and he just needed to sacrifice one melee unit to go kill all that stuff. Empire Knights are charging back in. Skaven Slave Spears do not have charge defense versus large, so charging straight into them is totally fine. He takes them out. Empire Cav are also going to come over here and take out these Plague Claws. Rat Ogre's trying to clean up the front line, but it's unbreakable, so it's going to take a very long while. Grey Seer's decent on health, but he's a Caster Lord, so you don't care too much. And the Double Assassin are perfectly fine, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Amethyst Wizard started throwing Spirit Leeches onto them now that the Natty Boobos and stuff are gone. I'm very optimistic about the Empire's chances. Now, this was a good play from the Ixtras Triads. You can see they've melted down some Pistoliers. They already took out one cannon crew. They're taking out another cannon crew, and these Pistoliers are sitting here trying to stop them. So that's been a really good play. Volkmar is getting a Soulfire Bombardment down, but it looked like it was canceled, and if it was canceled, that was a good decision because there's nothing around him but his own troops right now. Banishment over here to help out the Sigmar Sons against Clan Rats. Yeah, that's also fine. Is this a Dreaded 13th again? It is. More Halberds coming in to help out these Double Assassins and all the Rat Ogres. The explosion was a little off-center, but the Halberds are welcome. Volkmar is half health. He can regen back up. And I'm looking around. I'm not sure what the Skaven have left. This Smalls is Spirit Leeching the Rat Ogres. Can't tell if that was a misclick or intentional. I could get it being intentional. I feel like they were low enough that they were just going to tear her out from Volkmar anyway, so it didn't really matter. But maybe he was just worried about the only thing that could block a Volkmar or stop him from cycle charging, because the Assassins can't. Assassins are okay against Volkmar if he sits still, but if he cycle charges, they're a little doomed. He does have anti-infantry on his chariot. Random Spearmen are fighting Ixis Triads. It looks like Pistolers are trying to help out, and Cannons are back online. They 100% have to be shooting at the Grey Seer, which they are targeted on. You'll see if the cannonballs actually connect with the Grey Seer, they're going to do incredible damage. Up on his bell, he is a big target. This Stormburn with Halberd Summon is about to disappear, and after it does go away, I think we'll see the balance of power shift significantly back towards the Empire. Volkmar is starting his cycle charging routes. On to the Assassins. Is there a Rival High Talisman? No, there's an Assassin's Trophy, lowering his stats a little bit. But not as bad as the Rival Hide. Skaven. What do you have left? Ixis Triads and their summon. I'm guessing that's the summon? No, that was the summon, just disappeared. Ixis Triads finish off one cannon, and they're about to get run down by Pistoliers, which they'll probably beat the Pistoliers, but the trade isn't worth it. One Assassin's taking about half health. Volkmar's healing cap is within sight, but the Grey Seer has already used both of his dreaded 13ths. There's still an Amethyst Wizard, probably with a Spirit Leech or two. I don't think he's been overcasting them because he's been just hovering over the Skaven army. So he probably has a couple more in the tank. And Skaven are down to just their Lord and Hero squad, mostly. Don't think the Triads can carry this. Now, Volkmar has to be careful. Like we said, if he sits and fights the Assassins will do good work on him. So he has to keep pulling in and out. He has to keep moving around, but it looks like Hannodin's going to say GG, well played. He knows it might be over. And Rat Ogres pile in to fight Volkmar one last time before they're also going to rout when the Amethyst Wizard rear charges them. GG. Okay. There's a lot going on. Yes. So I'll deal with chat in the next pick phase. 1,600 value on the end with this wizard who just casts Spirit Leeches. That is the power of Spirit Leeching weapons teams. It's hard to keep a flying caster honest as the Skaven because you don't have any flying units. Warp Gale's a hell of a drug. Good spread out value here. Pistoliers both paid for themselves. Empire Knights got a lot of value chasing down stuff. Some of them got shut down a little bit, but overall good stuff. For Hannodins, Grey Seer got decent value. Both Assassins paid for themselves. They're cheap and chipper. They do fine. Ixis Triads putting in the work they could. Rat Ogres also did fine overall. And Plague Claws, unfortunately, were shut down. GG, well played. Okay, so I listed the maps. Carrick-Drawn. Carrick-Drawn. Map set. Hannodins up. And then I will start noting down who has what. Smalls has played Empire. Hannodins has played Scavinos. Alright, where's chat? How we doing? Doomsage, I just saw your comments about the family-friendly stuff. That was pretty funny. I liked that. No Warp Gale, normally the leadership debuff. Let's Plague Claws win arty duels. They'll actually beat Vampire Coast, Artilleries, and Empire. Yeah. Anywhere where the artillery crews are all clumped up, because the Plague Claws tend to aim at the infantry behind them, not the cannons themselves, they could do great work. Cyrus. Anticity rooting for ODM, Rusty rooting for RTK. That makes sense since they're both part of those clans. AC Maiden also. Doomsage rooting for bananas. This man likes potassium. RTK. This is a Plague Monk Rush matchup. Is it? Is it? Don't they just get killed by Huntsmen and Pistoliers? I feel. Is this top clan or top player? This is top player. Yeah. At least the epic Skaven battle theme in the background. Beastmen, Tomb Kings. That feels like a Vampire Counts pick, traditionally. Although recently I don't think Tomb Kings is that bad into vampire counts, but traditionally vampire counts would be both these things. Are gutter runners out of the meta or just not good right now? Shetland, it depends. I was talking to Shogunik about this. Just because I don't play with gutter runners or night runners very much doesn't mean I don't think they're good. I'm just not good at playing them. They're kind of like a skirmish cav, which I'm infamously terrible at using. So that's why you don't see me use them very much. But gutter runners are actually pretty good. Just not my point. Not my playstyle. Missing 4 people for the 750. Aloy's trying to bump up the subs numbers. We do desperately need subs. We want to get to 1,000 someday. Be nice. A lot of GGs coming in. Yep. Give us a poll over who we're rooting for? Sure. Who you like? God, I can't do anything fun with Hannodin's name. Hanny G. There we go. Anyway, as I was saying, yeah, gutter runners and night runners are good in matchups where the enemy cavalry is slow or limited. So they can be good in chaos. They can be good against lizardmen. They can be good against vampire counts. They can be good against Empire, maybe, honestly. Because the big thing is that with their snare net and poison, because the gutter runners can have poison, you can slow down already slow cav and actually outrun them all game. If you watched my Sartorial game that I just put out this morning, I was focusing on Sartorial, but I did bring gutter runners with poison. And one of them used all of its ammunition on these Chaos Knights that Mr. Doodles had chasing them around the map, and the Chaos Knights never caught them. At one point, he just brought the Chaos Knights back because the heavy cav is just too slow to catch them. But if factions have light cav, like Wood Elves, Beastmen, High Elves, Dark Elves, any cav that is really fast and really cheap is bad to use Night Runners and Gutter Runners in because they can catch you and they can do disproportionate amounts of damage to your relatively expensive skirmish cav, because like Gutter Runners and Poison are like 825, 850. So yeah, they're good in certain matchups. I just don't. They're not usually my playstyle. But that doesn't mean they're a bad unit. Vicious Satsuma used them all the time, and he used them really well. In fact, he actually could beat the Warriors of Chaos matchup consistently, and he tried to show me how, but it's just like not... It wasn't for me how he played it. I don't know. Also, the way he was playing it, I thought had troubles into Forsaken Rush, but like literally every time he would try to show me how it works, the guy playing against him would bring some like weird ass build, like Chaos Marauders with great weapons and triple gold chevrons chosen, and then you just poison wind them to death, and he's like, see, it's easy. And I'm like, all right, but like, what about the Forsaken Chaos spawn build I see every fucking game? Yeah, they're good. I think Plague Rush could be nice in Skaven Empire. At one point, I ran Death Runner Rush here. Death Runners are decent because you can Vanguard them. Why do I need to up my thumbnail game? Thumbnails are for the weak, bro. Can I play End Ladder after the best of 7? Maybe later tonight, but right after this best of 7, Valkanos is going live. So we're going to transfer right into Valkanos' stream. So I will not be streaming as soon as I'm done, because that would defeat the purpose. But yeah. Gutter Runners with Night Runners or Rogers behind them and Artie at the back is super fun. Death Runners, Rogers. Yeah, in Vampire Counts matchup, they do okay, because Black Knights are tanky, but they don't really do any damage. So if they catch your Gutter Runners, the Gutter Runners can honestly just fight them and kill them, which is fine. And if dogs catch up, you're in trouble, definitely. But you know, you got to cover them with something. You got to cover them with rat ogres. That's not the unit's fault if you overextend, but yeah, they're good there. They're really good against flyers. Good unit. I have been experimenting with them recently, as you saw from that last replay. But if your Skaven build can't kill Kolek plus Shaggoth, how do you win? I've never seen Kolek plus Shaggoth versus Skaven. I just see that fucking bird. It is just Sartorial all day. Occasionally Sigvald, usually Sartorial. What up, Alex? How you doing, dude? You've never heard of either of those guys? Smalls is relatively new. Smalls came into a very bad time, unfortunately, for him. And by relatively new, I mean, like, I don't remember. RTK, you guys are in the chat. When did Smalls, like, join the scene? I want to say it was in October or November. But he was very good. But by that point, Turin was kind of already done with Warhammer 2, like, hosting big tournaments. The scene was slowing down a lot. So Smalls didn't really get to play in any Ever-Chosens or Faction Wars or any of the big tournaments where you really get YouTube viewership. But yeah, he's been around. He's been around. When he plays, he does very well. He just doesn't enter a lot of tournaments. Bird, bird, bird. As for Hannodins, Hannodins been around forever. He's been around forever. He was new around the time I was new. And I think my score with him is like, he's beat me about 6 or 7 times. I beat him once. But that once was recently, so I guess recency bias, I'm the better player. No, Hannodin's very good. Sigvald is relatively good. Battlemania, DBD. Dude, there hasn't been that many Battlemanias recently. Or Death Before Dishonors. Anyway, is Sigvald meta in this matchup? Versus Beastmen? No, because Torox will run rampant over him. Torox body Sigvald. In this matchup, I almost always see Archaon, but I feel like Sartorial could also be good. But I usually see Archaon. Alright, we're in the game. Blocker coming down. Boom. Sometimes Archaon is cool. Siggy boy is the best boy. Fair enough, Muckluck. My favorite Lord on the Chaos roster is Kolek. I love Kolek. He's not the best at the moment. Like, he's okay for a Lord, but Chaos has so many great Lords that he's bad by comparison. He's not bad in general. Like, compared to a lot of other factions, Lord, Kolek's good, but not compared to Chaos Lords. Sartorial and Sigvald are just the best. Though Archaon's been fucking crushing it whenever he's on my stream recently, so maybe he's good. Okay. So, Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes on the Chaos side for killing Smalls. We have 3 Chaos Marauders with great weapons. We have 2 Marauder Horse Masters, 2 more Marauder Horse Masters, so 4 Horse Masters, 2 throwing axes, 2 Feral Manticores, 1 regular Chariot. We have Archaon the Ever-Chosen, and then we have 5 Chaos Marauders frontline. This is pretty standard versus Beastmen. You usually want to use your Superior Skirmish Cav to try and kite them out. And recently, that's why I liked a build I got from BBB Sir Villano, where the Beastmen take a Cygor just to force Chaos to get over here and fight you. Because you want to fight them. Beastmen will win the melee fight if they get it. For Hannodins, we have 4 Centaurs. I see 1 Chariot. Is there a second one? No. It looks like both sides are taking 1 Chariot. Tuskor for them. Triple Ungor Herd. 1 Bestigor. Triple Marauder Herd. Not Marauder. Centaurs are throwing axes. There we go. Torox, Butchers of Kalkengard, and a Bray Shaman of Wilds. Beastmen are one of those factions that whenever I look at their army, I swear there's got to be more somewhere. Because they look so small. To be fair, at least Kolek isn't as subpar as Sigvald. Sigvald's not subpar. Sigvald's great. He's a good lord. He's just, like, really cheap. That's the thing about it. It's like, you can't look at Archaon and Sigvald, and Archaon gets more value, and you're like, Archaon's better. It's like, Sigvald costs 1/3 as much. Okay, not 1/3 as much, but you get my point. So it's like, how much you pay for him versus how much he does. Alright. So, Beastmen are advancing, and Chaos is going to skirmish cav a little bit. This is just what they want to do. Chaos kind of wants to use all their ammunition before they even fight. Going to spam some fireballs out. Oh, that was interesting. That looked like it hit the chariot, but it actually just hit this random-ass Centaur. Elite high... Rusty elite high leadership. Just on Torox, everything else. Fair. Alright, Marauder Horsemasters. Kiting out the Centaurs. You can see, even with their bronze shields, Marauder Horsemasters are doing a walloping on these Centaurs. They are not having a good time. Archaon's kind of riding out. Bold of him to take a fight so close to the Butchers of Kalkengard and Torox. I'm wondering if this is an overextension, and now the Butchers are going to get onto him. Can their charge catch up to him before he rides away on Dorger? Ride! Ride, Archaon! Definitely got himself into a sticky situation, but he does pull away. Takes a couple throwing X's for his trouble, but he didn't get wrapped up by the Butchers. And it looks like Hannodin's just trying to isolate something to get some sort of fight, and he's leaving the rest of the Chaos Army in the dust. And I don't hate this. Ooh, is that overcasted? Overcasted Traderkin onto 2 Marauder Horsemasters will do a lot of damage, but now I'm a little worried this Bray Shaman of Wilds is caught out. They could just go into melee with him. Marauder Horsemasters is a decent cav. But anyway, the Beastmen are trying to use their mobility advantage to take a fight over here, and while the Chaos Army slowly lumbers over, they can take a fight and leave. This could be a big overextension from Smalls, but it looks like he's going to realize that and pull away just before the Centaurs could wrap him up. And other Centaurs went back to get the Bray Shaman of Wilds. So you can see now that this is why I really liked that Cygor build, is all this faffing about the Beastmen could be throwing giant rocks at their opponent. I do think it's rather good. Tuskor Chariots are rolling dirty right now, but it looks like Chaos Chariots might soon get involved, try and stop them. Those Tuskor Chariots are doing okay damage. Not a ton, but some. They're not really taking a whole lot of punishment in trade. And now it looks like Chaos is committing to the fight. They're done skirmishing for a little bit, and they're actually going to fight, which is exactly what the Beastmen want. Centaur's cycle charging in a lot. There's a big blob here. I wish Traderkin was off cooldown, but I know it was just used over there on those guys, so that would be a nice Traderkin target. Looks like some of the melee Centaurs, Torox and his Butchers of Kalkengard, were a little out of position, but they're going to start their way through all the flanks. They're just going to... I love the feeling when you get to play this, and you, like, route, and then you route the next thing, and then you route the next thing, you just get this little locus of power. And is that going to be a Traderkin? It is! It's an overcasted Traderkin! Yes! Oh, it's so juicy. Look at all those targets that hit, like, 5, 6 things. It's nice. You love to see it. But Chaos is doing the exact same thing to the Beastmen, but on the other side. So Chaos is winning over here. Beastmen are winning over here. We got some yin and yang going on. Beastmen are currently ahead on the balance of power, though, when aren't they? But I also agree that they're actually in a winning state in the game. They've lost some chaff. They lost a lot of Centaur health, but, you know, they've crumped a ton of Chaos stuff. And Chaos is not a faction that really has chaff. They don't have a lot of things they can sacrifice. And you can see here, these are big wins for the Beastmen, and Smalls is going to have to back up and skirmish again. He has 5 skirmish cabs, still healthy, still have a ton of ammunition. He's going to have to use that. He has to stop taking these fights. Because he paid a lot of money for the skirmish, so if you're going to take a fight and all your money on the skirmish cabs just sitting on the sidelines, then you're not getting the most out of it. His infantry is stuck, though. He can't outrun the Beastmen with his infantry, so he doesn't want to abandon them. For now, he's going to fight, but I imagine once the last of his infantry is killed, he'll start to kite once again. Archaon and the Manticore trying to fight the Butchers of Kalkengard, but this is a dangerous proposition. Those boys have high stats, good armor piercing, and regen, and they can lock down the Manticores. That Torox could come right over here and start slamming into them. In fact, I expect to see that very soon. And if any of those Manticores rampage, they are going to be stuck there till their death. One rampages, he ain't going anywhere. Torox is going to swing again and probably hit him again. Yes, he is. The other Manticore also rampages, and this is going very poorly for Chaos, in my opinion, though they are starting to get some grips back in this game on the balance of power as their skirmish cav wreaks a toll on the Beastmen army. But there's a lot of money right here that is getting currently beaten to death by the Butchers and Torox. You can see their rampage, but even if the rampage wears off and the AI takes over, they can't get out. There's too many thick Minotaur bodies. Hannodins does pull away. He's going to chase after Archaon as one of the Manticores either gets shattered or killed. And it looks like Torox is also just going to let the other one go. The Beastmen don't care too much about a low health Manticore, apparently. Archaon and the skirmish cav is all that's left of the Chaos army. And now, as I was saying earlier, I'm expecting Smalls to just kite. He really needs the kite. He needs to use all of his ammunition before he takes a fight, and Archaon is going to run with him. So we're going to be entering a little bit of a kite phase here. That is the best he can do. Now, I'm worried with Torox being full health at this point in the game. That is going to be very bad. And standard eye is popped by Archaon as he takes the fight with the Butchers just to save his skirmish cav for a moment. It looks like maybe he's fine with fighting the Butchers as long as Torox is plenty far away. They have silver shields, but if they're surrounding Archaon, then you can get some shots on their backs where they're not shielded. Well, thanks, Bubba. I got tea. Alright. What else is going on here? Archaon's still fighting the Butchers, but this is the dangerous part. Torox is now here, and Archaon's going to have a hard time getting out of all these Minotaurs. He has to push away here, but he's going to take a ton of damage. And I think if he doesn't escape in the next 2 swings, this is going to be the end of Chaos here. As he pops Slayer of Kings, it looks like he's trying to stand and fight, but there's just too many things. Torox keeps refreshing his cycle charge as he's charging into Archaon, and all the Skirmish Cav support is taken away. Archaon's officially alone. You can see how poorly that goes for him when he is alone. Slayer of Kings gives him a ton of weapon strength, but his melee defense is 60. Torox has 68 melee attack. So he should hit more often than not, but also Torox is one of those characters that just always hits. It doesn't matter. I swear to God, I can lower his melee attack to 0 with Rival Hide Talisman and Assassin's Trophy, and he'll still hit. He just hits. Manticore dives back in to try and save Archie. Torox can turn, club it right in the face, hit it. He just doesn't miss. This boy does not miss. He don't miss. I'm telling you. Those axes are swinging, and they're always going to hit something. Archaon's throwing down a Burning Head to try and clear out some stuff, but don't worry. Torox is here, and he's not gonna miss. Oh, there's a Butcher in his way. Kill him. Just kill him, Torox. Get through him. All right, Archaon is going to pull away. He can live through that. Small's using his Skirmish Cav very effectively to clean up the Centaurs, but the balance of power is just so far against him. I think he still has a chance in this game. I think the balance of power is being a little over-eager if Archaon keeps pulling away, but no, he takes a brutal charge in the back from Torox, and with that, he gets so close to breaking, and somehow he actually rallies, and now Standard Die has come up, and he uses Standard Die to charge in with his Skirmish Cav, who now have 50 melee defense, and that's pretty good. Archaon's still alive. Smalls is very behind on the balance of power, but I think that's again inflated. Look at how low the Beastmen army is. Cycle charging could effectively whittle them down, and maybe if Archaon has some fireballs left in him, he can poke Torox down. The balance of power ain't right. Don't you army lost this man right now. He still has a chance. As he routes more stuff, his balance of power gets worse. How is that possible? Beastmen, what is this? Archaon throws a fireball out. That's got to hit something critical to bring this balance of power back. Otherwise, he's about to get bullshit army lost right about now. It hits Torox. It doesn't do that much damage. More Beastmen things are routing, but the Skirmish Cav running out of ammunition, and that Traderkin is 100% going to cause army losses. I think Smalls was down but not out, but army losses is just going to take him out of this game. GG. Man, if only leadership affected your balance of power, am I right? You said Smalls was good, are you sure? I'm sure. I'm sure. He's 1-0, you know, he was 1-0 going into this, now it's 1-1. People make mistakes. You should try him yourself. Mucklock coming in with the defense. So, Archaon 1500 value. All the chaff just got chaffed. Chaffed to death. Chaos Chariot didn't get very much, but the Skirmish Cav, most of them got above and beyond their value, because Marauder Horsemaster's only 750, I think, if I remember correctly. And Manticores honestly did okay. They got close to their damage value back, even after getting crumped. Torox went on a murdering spree. Traderkin Caster did Traderkin things. Centaurs did their best to keep things honest, but Skirmish Cav just whittled them down too much. And the Butchers of Kalkengard with the Chads that kept Torox free and clear. I like it. And routing and shattering does change the balance of power. Yeah, and Bird, I know that. I meant because the Skirmish Cav using their ammunition was mattering more for the balance of power than the things Smalls was routing off. It was pretty interesting looking. It just looked like the more Beastmen that routed, the more the balance of power was like, Chaos is screwed, dude. I don't know. Definitely, I think that was Beastmen favored 100%, but I don't think that was army losses yet, personally. Map set, Smalls up. We're at 1-1. So Smalls has used Chaos, Hannodins has used Beastmen. Okay. I need to update the score. And I'll get caught up with chat. But yes, killing Smalls is quite good. Okay. Where was I? Bad Lord. That's right. Archie or Sarth all the way for most matchups. Beastmen still have no good answer to Skirmish Cav that I can tell. I do like the Cygor that Sir Viliano used, but yeah. Why one Bestigor? I don't know. Maybe to kill Chosen Kek W? Ignore him and you find yourself in the late game with rapidly healing Duelist, ready to wipe the 20 models you have left. Yeah, I have had a couple Skaven games where I literally can't kill Sigvald. If I have the Gracier on a Bell and a Helpit Abomination, then it's like, oh, I can't kill him. If you play poorly and only have 20 models, sure. If it comes to low models left, Sigvald full AP, then you misplayed outside ignoring him. Knighthood's here, what up, dude? JG, who's winning? Well, they're currently tied. This is a best of 7. So we are 2 games out of a potential 7. After this, there's a second best of 7 between Bobman and Zyphos, but that will be on the beloved Valkanos' stream, who has recently returned to us, and we could not be happier. Smalls at the moment 1-0. Torx just chilling. Thanks, mate. Archaon doesn't have fire damage. I wish he did have fire damage. I wish he had fire and magic, because like Volkmar has fire and magic, but not the guy with the literal flaming sword. Bingo card butchers are nice. Balance bar is drunk. Yeah. I agree, Bird, that there's no way Smalls... no way Smalls win. I agree the balance bar was drunk, but I think it was way too mean to Chaos. I am mostly caught up. Lots of GGs. Yeah, using the ammo caused the losses. Battle tutorial, I'm doing good, dude. I'm doing good. Archie sadly worse than Torox plus Wildcaster. Yeah, in melee combat, but I think Archaon can still be pretty good, especially if he successfully manages to cycle his abilities. Because Slayer of Kings and Stand Your Ground popped as he charges in can be pretty freaking brutal, especially if he has that Cascading Fire Cloak. 4 viewers and 21 likes. God, I wish we had 4 viewers, am I right? No. Rooting for your boy killing Smalls. Mike Litt, I have not seen you around. Welcome, friend. Welcome. So, Killing Smalls goes Dark Elves and Greenskins. Hannodins picks Bretonnia, and Killing Smalls will go Greenskins into that. That's smart. Bretonnia is considered a counter into Dark Elves, and I would agree. Soft counter, but a counter. And Greenskins Bretonnia is quite even, actually, these days. Yeah, it's pretty good for both sides. I kind of like it as Greenskins, but I play more Greenskins than Bretonnia, so of course I'm going to be more comfortable on that side. Balance power is an equation. Torox at high HP does it. That's true, but like so much of the Beastmen stuff was routing or shattering. It was going to be just Torox. If everything was unbreakable there, I think it would have come down to just Torox versus Archie and some skirmish cav. And I think Torox would have won, but I do think it was a little overambitious. Look at this beautiful kitty. Ed, say hi to the stream. Yeah, oh, such a good boy. Oh, such a good boy. Yes, we love Ed. Still no t-shirt? Not yet, my dude. Not yet. Aren't you the guy that said I hoped drop some content over on PH? What's PH? Oh yeah, Anticity's here. Okay, you're talking to him, not me. Plus no Amherst skirmishers have like no balance of power, which is silly considering Marauder Horsemasters are actually like light cavalry level, even when they're out of ammunition. Bop, bop. Bop, bop. Bop, bop, bop. Thank God you don't remember me, not that it happened. Yeah. Yeah, Anticity's here. Anticity is a legend. Who's this good kitty? What's PH? I'm still... Oh, okay. Yeah, I got it now. I had to think about it for a second. Ed, you are shedding like a motherfucker. What's going on with you? Fair. Your cat is so confused. She can see Ed but not smell Ed. That's because Ed is a good boy. He doesn't smell. Ed takes good care of himself. Oh, yes, get the scritches on the back of your skull. This matchup, I kind of been liking the... Ooh, I like Wurzag. I also like the Night Goblin Big Boss, the guy with the Fermented Fungi and the Tormentor Sword. He's fun to use against the Fey Enchantress. I do like Wurzag because I like Wurzag in any matchup where they don't have Spirit Leech or Fireball to like just snipe him out. And since Bretonnia doesn't really have those spells, I can take Wurzag, and I frickin' love Wurzag. So Wurzag's good. Night Goblin Warboss is good. Grom is obviously still very good here. I think those three are the main lords. I guess Skarsnik. So Greenskins have 4 very viable options. Goblin Great Shaman on a Spider isn't terrible either, but it's probably the worst of the 5 I just listed. So Greenskins actually have a ton of lords they can use here. Bretonnia, you kind of just need the Fey Enchantress. Maybe Lewin. I could see an argument for Lewin just as a terror-causing duelist guy. But the Fey is so good at draining down Black Orcs, Orc Biggins, Savage Orc Biggins that you kind of need her. And she's healing and all that stuff. And then you can have your double Paladin who can duel the Greenskin Lord. So as usual, Fey is by far the best choice, but I don't know. I don't think Lewin's going to be here. So I think Hannodin's going to bring Fey double Paladin. Smalls, I don't know. Probably Grom? But I wouldn't be shocked to see any of those. I think the Greenskins have much more of a chance to bring something besides Grom than Bretonnia has something to bring besides Fey. It's a cat stream now. Hazel is in the other room. She's with her mom. Boom, boom. I just heard the beats and the Beastmen and their strongest units in their front line. That's funny. Yeah, Wurzag has net stomp. Though I don't take stomp, I usually take brain bursta, but I do like to net down the Fey Enchantress or net down some Cav. Because if you get some Orc Boar Boys, give them the melee buffs from Wurzag's Bonewood Staff, and give them the charge bonus on Bretonnia and Cav, because you netted them in place. Juice. Bobman showed me that. Bobman is in the chat. He and I played this, and he was just raffle stomping all over me with Greenskin Boar Cav. It was hilarious. And I was messaging him afterwards. I'm like, every time I use Boar Cav, they suck. And he's like, that's because you suck. I'm paraphrasing, but Bobman loves to give me shit. He's a good dude. A good dude that you can see on the next stream after this one, Bobman versus Zyphos. Sunday on Valkanos' stream. Go root for my boy. My boy Bobman. Ed, are you going to root for Bobman? Yes, you are. You love Bobman. You've been liking Lewin? The problem with him is the Goblin Big Bosses exist. Fair. Grimgorge also just doesn't die. You know, Captain Tealis, I don't hate that idea. I feel like couldn't they just ignore Grimgor? But I don't hate it. He'd probably do okay. Doomsage, getting cat fur in your beard? Yeah, that sucks. Frickin' Ed's just shitting all over me right now. Hey, buddy. Hubby's experimenting with the effect of different pets on the number of viewers. No, I just have 2 great pets who love to chill out. Look at that soft purr machine. Yeah, he's a good boy. He's a good boy. Oh, no. There, that should give you a better angle on him. He's just chilling. He's just chilling. Good boy. Okay, I don't have a blocker up, but I also haven't selected anybody's army, so it doesn't really matter. Bobman plays the Evil Man spam. Bobman plays meta, to be sure. How significant is the difference between Foot and Brain Burster? Foot of Gork has a lot more armor piercing, as Shetland's saying, but you can spam out the Brain Burster more. And I value, as Warzeg personally, spamming spells for the melee attack than I do getting one sick, amazing spell off. But it is a matter of opinion. It's like not one of those things where there's definitely a right way to play it. Alright, let's see how hot this fucking tea is. Smalls is really thinking it through. You feel like Azhag on his mount is worse than on foot? Yes! I agree. I agree. Azhag on foot is just infinitely better. Hi. In my opinion. Because his mount, he doesn't get that much health. And then he's just a big target, and he's bad. Grimgor works like Sigval. If you kill enough of your opponent's stuff before the end game, you win. Fair. Grimgor, Gorst, yip. Still think Grom was the best pick here? Probably. Probably. Let's finish up builds next minute. Bach? Bach, why are you here? You're not allowed to come to my streams. Bach. Bach's an IRL friend. Same with the Boar King, who once messaged me. He's like, I show up for your stream once and you lose. Way to go, nerd. Bach's a similar homie. We play Crusader Kings and shit together, but also once in a while I pop in on the Dungeons and Dragons campaign and he has to carry me. Well, I just try to sell people various colored powders. So it's because Greenskins players get played a lot left compared to Beastmen now. Yeah, Greenskins aren't as popular as they once were, but I'm kind of okay with it. When Greenskins were popular, games were slow and boring. Skirmish Cav and Spirit Leech Kite. At least Beastmen. This is one thing I've always said, is Beastmen are overpowered, but at least they're exciting. Whoop. Goodbye, kitty. And I'll adjust the camera slightly so you're not all staring at my crotch. No, there's not a cat in it. Got him. And we'll see. So, for smalls... Quick check. Okay. Yes. We have the Spider Shaman. I said there was a chance, didn't I? Y'all doubted me. Y'all said, human boy, you stupid piece of shit, you ugly, dumb son of a gun. Also, unrelated to all that, there's no way he's taking the Spider Shaman. Well, I was right about one thing once. Savage Orc Biggins, 5 of them, very good. We have Morgan's Mangy Marauders, best skirmish cav against Bretonnia, armor piercing against all the armored knights. We have more Goblin Wolf Riders, and we have 1 Spider Rider just for a little bit of poison. It looks like that's the only 4 skirmish cav. Then we have Orc Boar Boy Biggins. I don't love Orc Boar Boy Biggins. I think Orc Boar Boys just perform better for less money, but we'll see if they'll be worth it. Then we have 5 Goblins across the front line, and of course the Shaman we mentioned with Vindictive Glare, and Itchy Nuisance or Gork'll Fix It? Gork'll Fix It. It's slow. Got it. Human Boy selling Warpstone Dust? In that campaign I am. I'm a charlatan, so anytime a new character enters the scene, I'm like, you want to buy some dust, bro? Alright. For Hannodins, we have 5 Peasant Mobs. We have a backup of Spearmen at Arms. And then we have Knights of the Realm, the Questing Knights, Grail Guardians, Questing Knights, and Knights of the Realm. Grail Guardians, huh? Not the anti-large Grail Knights. These are Grail Guardians, the tanky boys. Interesting. We have a Lifecaster on foot. We have King Lewin facing the wrong way. And no Fey Enchantress. Alright. Well, okay. Also 4 Peasant Bowmen. Any fire arrows? Fire. Fire. Pox. Fire. Okay. So he's ready for Stone Trolls, but I'm not sold on this Bretonnian build. I personally favor the Greenskin build in this game. I think they'll have an advantage, we'll see. Ice streaming soon? That'd be good. Everybody loves a good ice power stream. Spider Shaman has been the RTK meta for the past year or so now. It's the Satsuma meta. I don't know about the rest of RTK, but we'll see. Human boy, you stupid stinky idiot. Why no Grimgore? Yeah. Gorkle fixed it. How has Gork still not fixed it? He's been promising for ages now. Yeah. Have you missed a game or was the picking phase just that long? You left after Beastmen vs. Chaos? The picking phase was just that long. Guardians without phase seems kind of weird. I would also agree. They can be decent, like, Guardians for her, but they're not going to guard Lewin because they're on the floor. So I'm not super sure what they're supposed to do. And their charge bonus is abysmal, so they're not really Cycle Card Charge Calf. But, yeah. So the Skirmish Calf is out here. They're going to kill a whole bunch of peasants that can't do much about it. Sucks to be them. Rest in peace, peasants. And I have a ping from a server that is not about this. I was really worried it was about this game, but it's not. Okay. Something poked Lewin while I was checking to make sure that wasn't a referee telling me I missed something critical. Now, the Peasant Bowman will do great work onto Savage Orc Biggins, and I think that's what Hannodins should target. Without the Biggins, this Greenskin build lacks a lot of punch. And Savage Orc Biggins have literally 0 armor and no shields, so you can see Peasant Bowmen are going to do a lot of damage to them, considering that they're a 900 gold unit, and now they have to fight peasant mobs. I do like that aspect. Not super sure what Lewin's going to do. It looks like he's just going to dive into Savage Orc Biggins. Okay. Does a little bit of damage, has a threat of terror routing them if their frenzy wears off. It's okay. Gorkle Fix-It is slowing down these Grail Guardians and other knights. Questing Knights? Questing Knights. But what's here to really follow up on that? I guess some Savage Orc Biggins and the Goblin Great Chamber. Now there's peasant mobs between them. The Bretonnian Cavalry is going to be fine. On the far side, these Savage Orc Biggins are hanging in there, and Orc Boy Biggins are now fighting Questing Knights, but a sick Dwellers Below is going to land. Does Smalls avoid it? Kinda. It is going to go off, get a little bit of damage. It's also going to do some damage to the Questing Knights. That was mostly avoided by killing Smalls. Good micro there. Skirmish Cav is still firing in onto these Knights of the Realm. Those are the cheapest Knights Bretonnia has, so I guess they're kind of okay with it. And it looks like Hannodins is using some good infantry screening to keep his archers online, but you can see the Savage Orc Biggins have slammed through the peasant mobs, and they're about to take down their first peasant bowman of the night. Lewin's diving in on some little goblins. Maybe going to try to terror out them, but I doubt it. Their health is pretty high right now, so their leadership should hold okay. And I think the Bretonnians are in real big trouble as the Greenskins just keep pushing through. Goblin Great Shaman's doing fine. He's a big, scary monster, causes terror, but he's also tanky as all hell, considering he's a Greenskin caster. Usually Greenskin casters are easy to snipe out. Skirmish Cav's still taking their toll on the Knights of the Realm, and it looks like the Questing Knights, and are those the Grail Guardians? Oof, those are the Grail Guardians. Already very damaged. Where is Lewin? There he is. He's still fighting some goblins. He definitely has to try to go Hail Mary and take out the Goblin Great Shaman, but he does take a Vindictive Glare right in the face. Does not enjoy that whatsoever, but he is going to regen it up a little bit because Lewin is a self-sufficient, strong, independent lord. Now, things look to be going to shit for the Bretonnians, but let's take a look at what the Greenskins have left. They have 2 half-ish health at Savage Orc Biggins, another 2/3 health. 1 Savage Orc Biggins somewhere is dead. Ooh, and a full health one over there. Yeah, their Savage Orc Biggin core, what I said was going to carry them in this game, is very much alive. That's spooky. Some goblins have been routed off. Orc Boar Boy Biggins are getting routed off, but all the Greenskins need are still alive. And there's no Fey Enchantress to drain them all down. There's nothing. You're going to have to do it by hand, which is not looking great. Knights of the Realm and Grail Guardians desperately flying in just to hold off these Savage Orc Biggins, but the Peasant Bowmen that are nearby are struggling to fire at such close range. They're going to need to pull away, but pull away to where? There's Spider Riders back here. There's Goblins over here. You got nowhere to go. You got nowhere to go. Lewin is going for the Hail Mary we mentioned, and he will beat the Spider Shaman in melee combat, especially if he gets the Cycle Charge. He even has some Knights of the Realm nearby, but it looks like they are going to pull away. Spider Shaman will survive that encounter for a brief moment. Gorkle Fix-It is going down yet again to slow down things some more. Decent. Nothing really here is trying to run away, but might as well, I suppose. Lewin's going to charge back in. Hannodins is realizing he just has to try and kill this freaking caster, it looks like. No, he's going to go for these Savage Orcs. I don't know about that, especially with Gorkle Fix-It on you. You're just going to dive down, and then they're all going to turn and hit you for a bunch. Morgan's Range Surrounders is fighting in. I think this game is just about over. I don't see a lot of way for Bretonnia to get in it. Most of their balance of power is in units that are currently routing, and the game thinks that they might come back. But really, all that's still fighting here is Lewin, and he can't kill all this stuff. That's going to be a fat GG. Pretty sure. Unless something wild happens. Like, game-breaking, earth-shatteringly wild. Okay, GG, well played. Got him! Okay, what did this want? Live stream announcement. Okay, cool. Cool. So, Goblin Great Shima got 1,400 on the nose, just flexing on us with an even value. Goblins, mostly died. Some of them got their value if they got waft before they died. But the Savage Orc Biggins were really carrying the weight. They had tons of health left. They were doing fine. Orc Boar Boy Biggins, neither of them paid for themselves. I still don't believe in that unit specifically, but they did fine. Skirmishers did great. Lewin did his best, but this is the thing that always happens with Lewin. Always. Every time I take Lewin is he feels like he does good, but then he gets barely any value because most of his value comes from like routing stuff off. But he just doesn't get the big numbers. Lifecaster got almost as much value as him just from one Dwellers. Peasant Bowmen didn't have a whole lot of time to fire, but they still got okay value. And none of the Knights paid for themselves. They all got slaughtered by those Savage Orc Biggins. It was brutal. It was brutal. Okay. Third map. We can do this. Probably. Maybe. Wait, fourth map. Valley of Thieves. Hey, right there. Maps set. Hannodins up. See, Smalls has now played Greenskins. Hannodins has now played Bretonnia. I will set a little reminder so that people remember who played what. Okay. And then I have to update the score, and then I have to talk to chat. Oh, I don't want to talk to chat. Chat's a bunch of meanies. 2-1. Okay. Didn't bring enough knights. God damn it, Bach. Greenskins didn't bring any knights. And they won. Gosh darn silly bugger. Guardians without the face seems weird. Okay, we were already there. That's why you bring fewer infantry units? Yeah. Bretonnian infantry are worthless. Bretonnian infantry are worthless, cowardly peasants. I think chaff is fine. I think just bringing a bunch more shitty knights is better. Like 4 Knights of the Realm, a couple Knights Errant, maybe 1 questing knight to try and hunt down Grom or Stone Trolls later. But you can rely on your peasants with fire arrows to do most of the Stone Troll work. Cat wanted to be let out. So, yeah. I think his knights were too elite. Without the Fae, couldn't drain down all those Savage Orcs. Stop posting porn. Stop it. Stop it. Somebody needs to explain to me what's so great about Grail Guardians. Well, they guard the Grail, Maiden. It's in the name. Figure it out, bud. Figure it out. I actually don't know. I think it's just the fact their melee defense is like 58. And they have perfect vigor. Though so do Grail Knights. Grail Knights have anti-large, so I think Grail Knights might just be better. Tomb King's Dark Elves. Smalls has already played Empire, otherwise I'd say Empire. Bretonnia? Bretonnia. Smalls is a good Bretonnian player. Bretonnia counters Dark Elves. It's even into Tomb Kings, as far as I know. Yeah. Bretonnia would be good. What else would be good? Smalls already played Chaos. High Elves? How does High Elves into Tomb Kings go? I actually don't know. What up for Poland? What up, dude? Grombrindle posted a random GIF in the Warriors of the North event chat, and I got all excited that another game had been played. And then it was just a GIF, and I got extremely upset. Alright, Ice Power's agreeing that it's a Brett pick. Norska? Don't Dark Elves kick the crap out of Norska? Cold One Knights and Scourge Runners go Burr. Marathi goes Burr. Though I suppose the Dark Elves will go Burr because it's snowy outside. Boom. It is Brett. We're getting Brett, and that means Hannodin's going to go Tomb Kings, most likely. Oh, I know my build here. This is the build I took the Savage Peasant Biggins. I just gold chevroned a bunch of pole arms and battle pilgrims and walked at them with fire arrows. It was hype. God, I hope they do it. Tomb Kings, followed by Savage Biggins. Savage Peasant Biggins. Ah, Dark Elves. Oh well. So Hannodins is down 2-1 in the series, and he now is in a challenging matchup. So, if both players' armies were played by AI, Smalls will go up 3-1, but Hannodins is gonna have to fight his ass off to win this one. Okay, just checking on some stuff. Recently, Grace and I started rewatching Archer. That show's funny, dude. You forget how funny the early seasons are because the later seasons are kind of eh. I don't know. I wish there was more Ray in the later seasons. Ray's great. I gotta admit I skipped the space season. Grace and I started watching earlier. We started watching all the new Archer after the space season, but she didn't watch any of the Dreamland stuff. I watched the Island and then the LA Noir one, and they were just kind of like meh. So I didn't watch the space one. So tell me if that one's any good. Berserkers make Sisters not so bad, and Horse Masters and Seafang, and quite a lot. I do not know if AI Bretonnia beats AI Dark Elves. I watched Attack on Titan yet? I watched seasons 1 and part of season 2 of Attack on Titan, and I was over it, dude. Everybody was a Titan. The wall was Titans. You're a Titan, and you're a Titan, and that's a Titan. You think you're having your breakfast? Nope, your breakfast is a Titan. The eggs are coming for you. Da 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 da. I couldn't hang. I couldn't hang. Muckluck, you too. I couldn't hang. Aloy's that episode in the jungle where he gets carried the whole episode just to prove a point was pure gold. Yeah, it's pretty good. That's pretty good. Doomsage likes Krieger. I don't know, man. My friend, Mr. Overlord, who's been on stream a couple times, he also likes Krieger. Grace likes Krieger. I don't hate him. I feel nothing towards Krieger. Like, he's fine. He's a fine character. I like Ray. Pam gets way better as the show goes on. Pam's fucking tight. Archer himself is gold. Lana's great. Mallory's mixed. I was over Barry. I like Barry when he's with Odin, but when he becomes like a cyborg, I'm kind of like, okay, we're done with Barry now. My Hero Academia, though? Now that's some good stuff. I agree, Muckluck. I'm all caught up on My Hero. Shit's fire. Shit's fire. I got worried. I got a little worried for a bit there, but it turned back around. It got better. I'm waiting for One Punch Man. One Punch Man Season 3. Where is it? They left off on a cliffhanger for Season 2. And now they don't know if they're going to get a Season 3. Demon Slayer, I haven't seen Season 2 yet. Because I watch it when I work out, so I need it to be dubbed, not subbed, because I can't sit there and read it. I need to listen to it from across the room. So Demon Slayer, I'm waiting for Season 2 to get dubbed. You fell off during Archer Vice. Felt like the show wasn't going anywhere and didn't care to. Yeah, I'll agree to that. The earlier seasons felt like they had much more of a running plot, and then later on it kind of becomes Family Guy-esque, where each episode can kind of stand on its own, which is some people's jams, but I like the narrative. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Rusty, great anime, great. I need to rewatch it. I have not seen Jujutsu Kaisen. Peaky Blinders is coming back? What? That was such a good show, dude. That was such a good show. I'm excited. All right, we get to see Bretonnia round 2, this time in the hands of Killing Smalls. Killing Smalls is an excellent Bretonnia player. I don't know whether it's his main or Empire's his main, so I'm pretty excited to see this stuff. Hannodins I thought Hannodins was a Chaos main. No, we haven't seen it out of him yet, so if his back's against the wall, I might see it. Now we get the Fey Double Paladin that you all know and love, and by know and love, I mean, yep, bear with it. We have 2 Questing Knights, 3 Knights of the Realm, 4 Archers, some of which are poisoned, some of which are not. Yup. Because poison doesn't stack, so you don't really need all your Archers to be poisoned, you just need a couple of them. Men-at-Arms, Peasant Mobs, Battle Pilgrims, Men-at-Arms, Peasant Mobs, Battle Pilgrims. Kind of surprised to see Battle Pilgrims in this matchup, but okay. Cool, good for you. Personally, I would put your Pox arrows in the center formation, because if your opponent comes through the flanks, they're going to hit these archers first, so I like my more precious archers, personally, to be in the middle, where it's harder to get to, but to each their own. Maybe he wants... I mean, I can see the argument for them being on the flanks is that they're closer to the cavalry fights, so you can poison down enemy cav and help yourself there. So there's an argument for it. I just like them to be safer. I've watched Arcane. Arcane is great. Cyrus, I will answer your rebuttal before I focus on this Dark Elf build, but then I'm going to focus. I'm not totally a normie with anime. I have some deep dives, but I also have some pretty normie shit. Gurren Lagann's pretty good. I don't know if that's normie or not. Anyway, for the Dark Elves of Hannodins, we have 1 Kenyan Assassin with the Web of Shadows, which is basically a free Soul Stealer. We have Marathi with a not free Soul Stealer, along with 1 Manticore, not 2, just 1 Manticore. Left the other one at home today. We have triple Cold One Knight, or any Cold One Dread Knights? Cold One, Cold One, Cold One. We have 1 Dark Rider on the far side. We have some Dark Shards. My personal favorite unit on the Dark Elf roster is the Dark Shards. They're so good. They're so good. Great armor-piercing missiles. Generally do quite well. Then we have Dread Spears and Bleak Swords. Nice little Dark Elf build. I am not super confident it's going to be enough to bust through the Bretonnians. If I refuse to watch Attack on Titan, just watch Berserk. I've heard Berserk's great. Oh, and Cyrus. Both my DMs and in YouTube chat saying Berserk's great. When they cliffhangered us with Archer getting shot, then deviated those filler seasons, you lost interest? Yeah, that's where Grace and I fell off a little bit. Alrighty, we are off. Both armies have to move up. Both only have mid-range to short-range assets, so there's no catapults or bolt throwers to get anything going. And Fey Double Paladin's going to wreck a lot of face. So I think the Dark Elves either want to avoid it or fight it with Cold One Knights and Marathi at the same time, because Marathi gives those debuffs. She gives 20 melee attack and 10 melee defense debuffs to everybody around her, but the Manticore is going to want to avoid those 2 Paladins at all costs. Maybe Dark Shards can kill some Bretonnian cav, but it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to force that fight. Dark Shards are slow, and they're slow to set up. When they sit there and they, like, aim, they take forever to actually fire their first volley. I think it'd be a misplay from Bretonnia more than a good play by Dark Elves if Dark Shards can catch any cavalry this game. Smalls is repositioning. Now he is fulfilling the attacking rule by using his Peasant Bowman, and it's totally fine. But he doesn't really want his infantry to fight right now. And you can see this Peasant Bowman is getting a little exposed. I would expect it to fall back here pretty soon. And it is now starting to turn but not fall back. And you can see the Dark Shards getting to shoot in. They are much better archers than the Peasant Bowman. Now they're more expensive, so, you know, cost evaluation different, but man to man, they're better than the Peasant Bowman. They'll kill him. Questing Knights have taken a fight against Dread Spears and Cold One Knights, and that's not going well for them at all. And now these Dark Shards are able to fire into either Knights of the Realm or Questing Knights. This could be a big moment for the Dark Elves to take a handle in this game. And a Dwellers Below is coming in onto the Questing Knights? Is that a miscast? Okay, I guess it's also hitting Cold One Knights, so Smalls is just accepting that he'll lose the Questing Knights and the Cold One Knights together, but that seems like a lot. And up here, Knights of the Realm are taking a charge against Cold One Knights, and they are getting shreked down by Marathi and these Dark Shards, and this is a messy start for the Bretonnians. Cold One Knights fighting Peasant Mobs are going to win over there, and Dreadspears are fighting Men-at-Arms across the front line. That's going okay. Fey Double Paladin, I don't know where they are. It looks like they're having difficulties really getting involved. Dark Shards are shut down by even more Bretonnian Cav. And that Dwellers Below did end up being worth it as these Questing Knights hung on. I think their banner was somewhere and their units weren't, so it looked bad, but actually most of the units were out of the way. Peasant Bowmen raining in their fire, and now the Bretonnians are off to a great start. It just looked a little weird because of where the banners were positioned. But these Cold One Knights are getting wrecked 2v1 against Knights of the Realm and Questing Knights. These Dark Shards are about to go down. Marathi's also having a hard time. Manticore's running around avoiding the Paladins, and the Cold One Knights are going to go fight Knights of the Realm yet again. But they're taking a lot of damage for their efforts. Where is the Fey Enchantress? She's way in the back. Not a good snipeable position. Yeah. Avatar: The Last Airbender or Avatar the movie? Both are good for different reasons, but Avatar: The Last Airbender is indeed fire. Dark Shards are routing over here, soon to be shattered. Looks like a big Soul Stealer's coming in from Marathi, but a Paladin is going to side charge her and get a nice hit. And this is already looking a little bit over. Bretonnian Cav just way outperforms Dark Elf Cav for the price. And yeah, those Dark Shards were not able to sit and shoot as much as they want. When they did shoot, you got to see their potential, but it was not as much as we needed. Marathi getting gooned out by the Double Paladins is going to be a short victory here. And Hannodins will withdraw. Now, what is it, game 5? Smalls picks first. Hannodins is going to want to use his Warriors of Chaos now. Because otherwise he's not going to get to use them this series. And I believe, unless he's changed mains since I last talked to him, but he is a Chaos main, I think. I mean, his picture is an aspiring champion, for God's sake. So, we'll see. One of the Knights of Rome getting 1,800 value. Good lord. Yeah, good stuff. Not a whole lot of great values because the game ended so quickly, but, like, just really good Cav play, really good archers from Smalls. GG, well played. Dwellers doesn't do that much from AoE, much more from the damage over time. I think the AoE can do pretty well, but again, I think that unit card was just weird, where it looked like smack dab right there was a Questing Knight, but I think it was one Knight who was holding the flag and most of them were somewhere else, because the Questing Knights took like no damage from that Dwellers. Okay, I need to find the next map. That's it. I was like, what am I doing? Smalls played Brett. Update that. And Hannodins played Dark Elves. And we need to go to Galbaraz. Is this the start of the comeback? I don't know. We'll find out. Galbaraz. Map set. Smalls up. Okay. Boom. Oh, that tea is the perfect temperature. It's warm enough that it like warms your throat on the way down, but it's not so hot that it burns. Oh, it's so good. Green tea. Delicious. Delicious. Wasn't Berserk the series in which the author died before it was finished? I think that's true. I don't know. Avatar: Last Airbender is super good. Questing Knights have magic resist? No. No, they don't. A lot of GGs. So given that you can cast a proper game that quickly, Human Boy Rap, EP dropping when? Never. Never! Though I have learned to talk quickly. There's a nuts game I'm going to cast for the channel soon. It's a one-off replay I played against Raced. But it was one of those games where, like, our armies just split in 4 directions at the start because he was, like, flanking me and I was flanking him. So my flanking units had to get to his, like, bolt throwers, and his flanking units tried to get to my Jezzails, and we were running all over, and it's like, I saved the replay because, one, it was a nuts game, but also I was like, how am I even going to cast this shit? Like, I'm going to have to pause it several times and be like, all right, so over here, the other end of the frickin' planet, we have some Death Runners fighting some Knights. And then back to the bolt throwers, where Tyrion is desperately holding off Death Runners. Like, it was nuts. I didn't update the score yet. Got it. Nobody said it yet before the delay. But I do have to update the score. And after the stream, Valkanos is streaming Bobman versus Zyphos to determine who won the overall clan thing between RTK and ODM. This is determined between RTK and ODM's Killing Smalls and Hannodins, specifically who had the most wins in that thing I was streaming. If you remember last week, 2 weeks ago, somewhere in there, I had a whole bunch of streams where I was grinding End Ladder. It was to try to get the most wins. So these guys both beat me. All French people look the same, it is known. Wood Elves, Dark Elves from Killing Smalls. It's a decent combo. Chaos is fine into both these factions. Not great, but fine. I personally expect Hannodins to pick it anyway. But we'll see what he does. Yeah. Duels below does less damage to friendlies than does enemies, so it can be somewhat safe to cast your own units a bit. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. What up, Saphir? Good to have you, dude. Good to have you. Your precious Bretonnians have been played by both factions already, so unfortunately we won't see any more of them. Though we have seen the maximum amount of Bretonnians that we can see. Berserk is amazing. Don't skip the first arc. I've heard a lot of good things about Berserk. I gotta get into it, but I'm slow. I don't watch a whole lot of things. Much to the chagrin of everybody else in my life. And I'm also the person that likes rewatching things. So then when I don't watch a ton of things, and then I like to rewatch things I know are good, it's just, ugh. Jean Pasteau is here. Jean Pasteau, one of the promising newer players to the scene. A lot of really good players just appeared out of nowhere. Frickin' Tim the Wilder's good. Jean Pasteau's good. RTK scooped up a lot of the new players that were quite good, but Call HR, Big JP. Rusty's been around because he used to go by other names. So Rusty, I don't know if you count as a newer player anymore, but you're good. I'm trying to think, because now that I've started listing people, if I don't list somebody, they're going to be upset. Who have I played on End Ladder recently that I'm like, you're new, and then just kick the shit out of me? Mofet. Mofet's really good for a new player. I mean, Tretch is newer. He's been around, though. Tretch is good. Anyway. Rusty is a good player. It's just, like, I don't know. How's Brett doing in the Metasphere? I personally think Brett's not very good right now. But, I mean, both these guys already played it, so it can't be that bad. You watched all of Bleach? How? I guess it's not as bad as One Piece for, like, how big it is. Shit, who's messaging me? Okay, it's not about this best of 3. It's Artisan Tech Priest messaging me about Berserk. That the author died and it was sad. Achilles is back. Go RTK. RTK's currently in a really good spot. Try the manga, then the old anime, ignore the new anime. Oh, so the new anime isn't very good? That's good to know. You're kind of sad that Total War Warhammer is not grimdark enough. I will say, I am hyped for Game 3. I'm hyped for Game 3, so don't you take this out of context. I'm excited. But it looks a little cartoonish. It looks a little... Stop shouting. Stop shouting. I can't hear you. You're on the other side of a computer screen. It looks a little cartoonish. I'm not a fan of the new unit cards. The new map looks a little cartoonish for me. It's just throwing it out there. Throwing it out there. Unpopular opinion. Subsuming. You have friends who watched what One Piece? Did they finish it? Bleach people getting trashed as always. God, guy with the pink cloak? Who's the guy with the pink cloak? This poor Brett guy getting called out on a stream like that. Where's the salt? I'm not playing, so I can't get pissed off at the game. I only get pissed off when it affects me. A friend of mine watched all of Naruto Shippuden, and was watching Boruto because he likes Shippuden. I watched all of Naruto up to Shippuden, and then I watched like a couple 100 episodes of Shippuden. So I was down with the Naruto train. I honestly just fell off at one point for not a specific reason. And then I never got back into it. It's like one of those things where you're just like, yeah, I just kind of stopped watching it. I can't tell you why. Berserk dropped 20 years ago. How slow are you? Apparently slower than that. There was something I was going to answer, but I forgot. Oh, yeah, neckbet. Instead of naming good players, just name the players you think are trash. Trash player, Human Boy. Trash player, Bob Man. Trash player, Bob Trash. Trash player, all those three again. Boom, got him. Okay. I'm getting shamed by Vertical Clift and Hammond, and I am okay with that. So, we get to see Dark Elves again. Killing Smalls is just taking whatever faction Hannodins just used and taking it to the next matchup. We have learned. Hammond and Cyrus are now messaging me, but I need to focus on the game, so I'll get back to you, lovely gentlemen. Bob, man, you're trash. You're trash. Just because you're master on the leaderboard and you consistently beat me on stream and you consistently beat a lot of people and you're actually very good at this game doesn't mean you're not trash. You're a trash person. For anybody who doesn't get the joke, he's my friend. I can say that about him. He's a good dude. All right, so for Hannodins, we have 2 Nehekara Horsemen. I have recently been told, hey, by Bob Mann, how actually super good Nehekara Horsemen are, and I am excited to try them next time I play Tomb Kings. We have some Skeleton Chariots, Skeleton Horse Archers, 2 Shopti Great Bows, neither which is the Chosen of the Gods. We have 3 Chariots. I think I mentioned them, but there they are. We have 2 Carrions to kind of block up some of the Dark Elf air game. Carrion can do surprisingly well against Manticores. Manticores just sit and fight them. 1 Arc in the Black, and a whole bunch of Skeleton Spearmen / Warriors to hold the front line. No Tomb Guard. Okie dokie. For the Dark Elves, we have Cold One Knights, Cold One Knights, Cold One Knights, all of which are just regular Cold One Knights, no Dread Knights. We have 2 Dark Riders on the far flanks, I think. Bleak Swords and Dread Spears up the front line, 2 Bolt Throwers, double Manticore, and Morathi. Good, good. Sebastian, kind of like Warcraft 2 to Warcraft 3 or StarCraft 1 to StarCraft 2, 2 cartoony shift. Expect the animation style on the maps to help performance readability. Maybe. I have not watched much Dragon Ball Z. I have friends who do, but it's personally not my jam. Skeleton Horse Archers are running around shooting, but Killing Smalls, as always, is very good at dodging. If you remember Game 1, where his Spirit Leech caster was literally right above Gisele's and didn't get hit, you know he can handle some archers at a distance. Bolt Throwers are already trying to get their value. Shooting some Skirmish Cav. I think they're also trying to shoot the Ushopti, but it's really hard to tell what they're aiming at in this like blob of units. So we'll just wait and see. I am a kid, yes. I don't really believe in television that's for kids or not. I mean, I still watch Barney. Barney's tight, dude. That episode where he got drunk and went drunk driving. It was a little controversial in my opinion, but still good television. 2 out of 3 trash players are named Bob. Coincidence? I guess not. Arc in the Black for Hannodins is overextending a little bit. I wonder what he was trying to cast. Like, I think he's trying to Spirit Leech something, but I can't tell if it's the Bolt Throwers or what. But he's taking a lot of damage right now for his effort. And he does get a Spirit Leech off. It's onto the Manticore at last. If a couple of Shopti Great Bows hit him, maybe he'll Rampage down, but honestly, Rampaging to Chariots isn't that bad. He kind of wants to attack Chariots, too. And some Dark Riders are catching Skeleton Horse Archers. I think that is quite bad for Hannodins. And now Nehekara Horsemen are moving up a little bit. Shopti Great Bows are within range, but this is a tough start. I'm nervous. I'm nervous for our lads, the Tomb Kings. Now, these Chariots are doing excellently. All right, great Chariot play. I forgive all other slight misplays that possibly existed because we've already killed almost 3 whole Bleak Swords units, and the Chariots are just doing great. 1 Soul Stealer's already come in. It looks like these Skeleton Chariots are doomed as the Golden Knights are going to cut them down, but Skeleton Horse Archers are back here trying to kite, and now Nehekara Horsemen have jumped in to try and fight these Dark Riders. And that's going okay. Where's Arkin? I lost track of him. He's not dead, is he? Okay, he's fine. He's over here running some stuff down. No Shopti Great Bows. I don't know what you're firing at. Looks like they're firing at the Bolt Throwers and doing actually pretty decent damage for their time. They've routed off 1 crew, which the Carrion are going to follow. They're routing off the other crew. Okay. All right, Hannodins. All right. But Manticores are back onto these little chariots. We do have some skeleton horse archers nearby trying to help out, but the Manticores are fighting the chariots, and that is real bad for the Tomb Kings. But also the problem with the Tomb Kings is that they can't really let the chariots just, like, leave, because then the Manticores will fight the Ushabti Great Bow. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation back there for the Tomb Kings. Nekar horsemen are chasing off Dark Riders, thinking better of it than fighting, you know, a full-ish health Bleak Sword and thing. While the Ushabti have almost taken out the Bolt Throwers, that is pretty good. They haven't been using this time to shoot Manticores or Morathi or anything. And we can see now that one of them's almost dead already, but we do get a nice Spirit Leech, followed by some other buffs. What is it, the Liber Mortis thing? Show me what I want to know. Yeah, Liber Mortis helping out the Ushabti Great Bows a little bit. Arc in the Black's running around. Bounce Power is still dead even, and I am inclined to agree, because everywhere I look, I'm like, oh, that's going terribly for this side, but that's going terribly for this side. But that's, I don't know what's going on, dude. I just work here. Manticore finishes off the last of those Ushabti Great Bows, and Morathi and the other Manticore are back onto the other Ushabti Great Bows. And you see what I was talking about? The Chariots got away from the Manticore, but then they just left the Manticore and Morathi to kill all the Ushabtis all on their own. So that is going to be a huge problem for Hannodins. Chariots are still taking out more things, though. Cold Knights are very healthy, which is going to be a big problem later in the game we go. And I think the Bounce Power is being a little generous right now to the Tomb Kings. I think they might be in a bit of trouble. That being said, I guess the Dark Elves are really down to 2 Coldo Knights and some chaff. Morathi Double Manticore is very healthy, except for this one, who's now getting gooned out by Arc in the Black and some Nekar Horsemen. Full surround on him. He's taking a bit of damage, and now he's going to break, so he'll stop attacking the Nekar Horsemen back. What's going to kill these Coldo Knights? I'm kind of worried about that. Maybe some Spirit Leeches, but Spirit Leeches so far has been used on Manticores and Morathi. Without the Ushabti Great Bow to kill the Coldo Knights, they'll kind of run rampant over the rest of this game, I think. Chariots are terrible against them. Chaff is terrible against them. Yeek. Who's messaging me? Alright, maybe not important. Who's messaging me? Maybe it is important. Shut up. Don't do that. Okay, not important. Carrion diving in on the back of these Coldo Knights, but they're just killing so much stuff. Ushabti Summon is coming in. Dark Elves are ahead on the Bounce of Power, and this might be the end of it, especially with Morathi and this Manticore diving onto Arc in the Black, though Manticore immediately rampages and gets distracted. Morathi's trying to chase him through 3 Skirmish Cav, and that's not going great for her. You can see she's taking a lot of damage. Ushabti Summon kind of in the middle of nowhere. They need to run over somewhere and help out quickly in one direction or the other. Morathi's going to Soul Steal her on Arc in the Black, and this could actually be a huge opportunity for the Tomb Kings, as she's now surrounded by Skirmish Cav. Arkin could maybe turn around and, like, Spirit Leech her, maybe get Skeleton Summon down. He is going to take the fight. Skirmish Cav trying to help him out as they go. Sniping Morathi is really the only way back into this game for Hannodins. As you can see, the Coldo Knights we mentioned earlier are just running shop over everything. Nothing can stop them on this map. So you're going to have to rely on a leadership debuff. Morathi realizes that this isn't the fight for her. She's going to start rolling away. And I think if she escapes from this, which she has, the Coldo Knights will clean this up for the Dark Elves. I'm trying to look for a way for the Tomb Kings to win this, but I mean, that Coldo Knight's at half health. This Manticore's at half health. I swore there was a more healthy Coldo Knight somewhere. Guess it's just missing. But still, Tomb Kings are running out of assets. These Ushabti summons are going to fade in just a second. Then we have a bunch of Skirmish Cav that has no more ammo, and we have a couple Skeleton Warriors to aid just Arc in the Black. Don't think he can do it. General Iroh is the single best part of Avatar Last Airbender. That or Sokka. Sokka's really good. I think he's just funny. This is one of the best things about Coldo Knights is they'll almost fight to the death. They have 5 models left, and now they finally broke. I love that about Coldo Knights. What I don't love about Coldo Knights is how wildly inconsistent they are. But when they're good, they're real good. Skeleton Horse Archers are fighting to the last of their abilities. Arc in the Black charges into one of the routing Coldo Knights and just kind of swings at him for a moment. Doesn't really do any damage. Then he's going to fight Morathi yet again. Knowing again that is maybe the only way he can win this game. He gets a nice rear charge on her and then summons his Skeleton Warriors with the Staff of Arcan. But I don't think that's going to be enough. These Coldo Knights just rally in the middle of these Skirmish Cav because reasons. They don't care. Ew, bad Soul Stealer for the Tomb Kings. It's 3 important units. Hannodins throwing out the GG, well played. And it is over. RTK's own Killing Smalls will be our winner. But don't you go anywhere just yet. Don't you go anywhere just yet. You calm down over there. Okay. I am now going to spam a link in the chat. Boom. Hold on. This is the next part of the series. Boom, boom, boom. It is Valkanos' channel. He is going to be casting Bobman versus Zyphos. I will personally be there rooting for Bobman myself. But both are really good dudes, both are really good players. It should be a good time to see who won the event between RTK and ODM overall. But the most individual wins goes to Killing Smalls. That's what this was about. It's just happenstance that it is also RTK ODM. Good match by both players. You shot to great bows, had too many targets to shoot at, not enough to defend them, unfortunately. Great chariot play, great arc and play, good skirmish cav, but the shot to great bows were left out a little bit to die. Valkanos saying that ended faster than you planned. Well, too bad. Alright. GG, I'll update the score one last time, just so everybody who is around knows that Killing Smalls did do the winners. Okay. Yes. Gotta teach him young, blah, blah, blah. Watch Pokemon still. Are the new Pokemon seasons any good? Avatar Last Airbender. Looking through stuff, just making sure I didn't miss anything. Because there's a lot to go through. Chat is so active today. I'm sorry if I didn't get to all your messages. Smalls is actually winning something. Quick stop. Quick stop the count. This has to be rigged. Yep. Yep. All right, people just talking about good shows. I love all of you. I couldn't go through all your messages, but I gotta go. TY for playing. Yay. Okay, and GG well played. So that is that. Valkanos' stream will start up. It looks like you have 30 minutes to go to the bathroom, grab a coffee, grab 3 coffees. You got this. Goodbye. Also subscribe if you haven't subscribed, for the love of God.